When we hear, I want to work with you, but your price is too high, it actually triggers us to be afraid to hear that. Maybe we're afraid that we're about to lose the job. Change your mind. Just by saying that you know what price you need to be at tells me that you are not a last look seller. It tells me that you are a low price seller. Really, is it all about price? The customer is trying to negotiate with you, but the seller often thinks that they're being rejected. Stop seeing that as a rejection. All right. I was out last week and I was with some groups out of town and training, and they asked me the question, like, Steve, do we really want last look? I mean, are you saying that we want last look? And I'm like, well, yeah, that is what I'm saying. I want you to get last look. And they're like, but that means I got to lower the price. And what if I can't? And what if that's not what I want to do? Or I'm going to lose the job if I don't make this happen. And so I wanted to discuss that today. Last look is a magical word. Now, you may hear other things. You may hear other words. You may hear it like, can you sharpen your pencil? Can you take another look at it? Here's where the number is. Here's where you need to be. All of these things, the language and the problems that I hear is that all we're focusing on is the second part of the sentence, I want to work with you, but your price is too high. All we're hearing is, but your price is too high. And so what it does is it pulls us in. So I've been doing a little bit of research around what is happening with this last look concept, that basically it's as if we've been scarred. We've got trauma from our past. And here's what it is. It's as if, you know, at some point in time, we were told to look both ways when crossing the road, and we stopped and looked out in the road, and all of a sudden a car almost hit us, and it frightened us. And so we get this imprint that happens that tells us this is a bad thing. And I think that's what happens with last look. I think that over and over and over again, we were reinforced early on in our careers, and fear came up. So when we hear, I want to work with you, but your price is too high, it actually triggers us to be afraid to hear that. Maybe we're afraid that we're about to lose the job. So we have this fear of loss. We're invested in it. We've been working towards it. We've got a lot of attention we've been putting towards this customer. I mean, hell, you've gotten yourself into this spot where you're actually in a last look position. It's a great position to be in, but then we hear it and we're like, oh, we're going to blow it. So there might be fear. There might be some anxiety that now you have to go talk to your bosses and say, hey, is there any way that we can lower the price for ABC Construction? They're a really good customer and I want to, and they just need the price to be lower for us to work with them. So there might be that anxiety that I have to go back to the mothership and negotiate. Maybe if you're a business owner yourself, you might actually go, I got to give away my own margin. I got to give away my money, which all of us sellers should be thinking about. We bring in all the money, so I want us to hold on to that money just as strongly as we do other things. Anyway, it could be that we then determine that price is the only thing that matters. I was on with a seller just today, and I got to listen to 5, 10, 15 minutes of this seller telling me how they get all the information they can out of the marketplace. They get everything they need to know. Like, Steve, I've got great relationships, so I can get the intel. But it's all, what price do I need to be at? Like, the language we're speaking and the information we're getting, all the intelligence we're getting, like we talked about last time, preference intel versus price intel, everything is price, 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 price. So we start knowing what price we need to be at. Well, just by saying that you know what price you need to be at tells me that you are not a last look seller. It tells me that you are a low price seller, which is okay unless we want to actually win the work and make the money. So it could be some fear. Could be some judgment now. The whole market, all they think about is price. It's all about price, Steve. But what about the guys that are really all about price, Steve? Like, I love hearing that one. You know, they're definitely all about price. What about those customers? It's like, okay. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm not sure that is the case, but I hear you. You believe it is, and that's just as important. So what about if I don't drop my price, they'll go somewhere else? See, the challenge that I have for all of you is that if they call us and tell us they want us to work with us, we've already won. We've got the work. But we've got to negotiate now, and we've got to change the pattern, and that can be very scary. I remember early on, I think one of our viewers today knows my early on stories of working with my buddy in Vegas, and just very, very challenged in asking the really, why do you want to work with me statement. struggled. Like week after week after week, we would talk. Oh, Steve, it's all about price. And I'm like, really? Really, is it all about price? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, but I think there's something wrong in the statement that it can't be all about price if they're talking to you. Well, what do you mean? Well, why would they call you? They have no reason to talk to you. They don't need to talk to you if you're too expensive. Why are they negotiating with you? Why are they talking to you? Well, I mean, they want to work with me, right? Why? But it was so hard for him. And again, looking back, it's just like my quick thinking that this is going to be an easy thing to say was not where he was at. He was afraid to lose the volume. He was afraid to piss off a customer. He was afraid, just as one of my customers just this morning said to me, Steve, I'm not going to ask one of my customers why they want to work with me. You don't do that. Like he even had like some societal thoughts that said, I'm not going to do that. I don't ask people why they want to hang out with me. Hey, why are we friends? Why are you dating me? Like that didn't feel comfortable for this seller to even ask it. So I get it. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to want you to push. Doesn't mean I'm not going to push you to try it and figure it out. And in my buddy's case, he didn't like really, why do you want to work with us? He liked really, how come? It just seemed softer for him. So what I implore you to do is to start playing around with how should you say it? What baby step can you take to get yourself to flip this conversation from I want to work with you, but your price is too high, to I want to work with you, oh, but your price is too high, where we focus on the right part, the I want to work with you. So as my question stated today, does it really impact us? Does it really affect us? Like, do we really want to hear it? See, because what I do is I start coaching all these sellers to say, okay, let's get last look. And then they're like, if everyone's last look, Steve, that's a bad thing. That means I have to discount for everybody. Don't I want to make my own pricing? Don't I want to make my money? Don't I want people to pay for my products? Well, of course. Last look is level 2. Level 1 is my partnership that I have with customers, where they want to work with you and they pay for you. But last look is the way there. He's on the journey. And that's why I focus on that one, because we have 5 categories. But my third category is quote and hope. I think we spend a lot of time as sellers in this quoting and hoping game. I'm going to quote and hope that I got my number right. I'm going to quote and hope that they pick me. I'm going to quote and hope that the decision maker who I never met is going to pick me or likes my number. But the ultimate goal is to have partners. The number one type of customer would be somebody that actually doesn't try to put me out of business. They actually want to work with me, and they will pay my number, which would be great, right? So I just created this step 2. This last look category is a place that I want to transition through, but I want to characterize it in a way so that we are more and more comfortable hearing it, exploring it, knowing what to do with it. See, I think most sellers, if you say, give me a quote, they go, okay, how many yards is it? Where's the job site? How many tons do you need? Whatever it is. They're so quick to start asking all these questions to figure out how to fill out the quote. But a last look seller has a different set of questions they're looking for, different set of questions they're asking, different set of information they're looking for. See, I've got a different form that I'm filling out. The quote is easy. What do you need? But see, the quote is the same as the other quote they're going to get from brand X. So the quote's not my differentiator other than price at the bottom. And that's what we've already discussed. I don't want to be low price. I want to win the work. And you can do both. So quote intel isn't going to get me there. So what's the other side of it? What's the actual preference intel that I need? Well, I need to find out if I'm actually going to be the one that they call and say, we want to work with you. Now, preferably, I'd like them to say, we want to work with you and we'll pay whatever it takes. I had a call last week with a seller, and he started off the call literally saying that. Steve, I had this customer this week. It was kind of cool. He said, hey, listen, we're going to go with you, but I just wanted to let you know your price is a little high. Have you ever heard that one? That's amazing. What a wonderful thing. What a great position to be in. I want to work with you even though your price is high. That's where I want you to ultimately get to. But in this transition phase that we're going to fly through, this last look spot, where they say, I want to work with you, but can you do something about the price? That's where we want to jump into that category on our way to the customer that says, hey, we love working with you and I think everything's going to be great. Just letting you know you guys are a little bit more expensive, but we're still going to go with you. But on the way there, last look customer. All right. So how do we ask? How do we get in there? How do we get comfortable asking it? Now, I think we have cognitive bias. If you've heard that before, I think that we like to prove ourselves right, no matter what it is. So if I think I'm going to fail, I will prove it to you. If I think it's about price, I will prove it to you. What I hear next in pushback from my coaching clients is they say, okay, Steve, well, I mean, if I did ask that, wait, you want to go with us? How come? They're going to tell me some things, but then they're going to say, but price is the most important thing. And they're going to go right back to price. So they go out and try it. And sure enough, that's what happens. Well, of course it does, because that's their cognitive bias. They're already set up for that. That's not my script that's in my head of what's going to happen, but that's in their mindset. So I don't know what kind of a person you are as a seller. I don't know if you know that you manifest, that you create the things that you want. You create the things that you want to hear, maybe is the better word, even though you may not really want to hear it, you actually are creating it. My early journey learning about sales and learning about my sales skills or faults was that I had a lot of think it over customers. 80% of my customers said, this looks great, Steve, but can we think about it? Different industry than yours, but a 20% close rate. And I was very frustrated and wanted to change that. And it wasn't until I actually gave my sales trainer, future sales trainer, 2 think it overs as I fumbled my way to actually make a decision to actually sign up for sales training, that he said, Steve, you don't have a 20% close rate, you've got an 80% think it over rate. The reason you're struggling with think it over customers is because you think it's okay to think it over, because that's your style. And it really hit me that my cognitive bias, my bias was already in play, that's saying, oh, people like to think it over. It's a rule. So therefore I go out in the world and everyone's like, maybe we need to think it over. And I'm like, good point. That's what you should do. I expected that. So I would create the universe that I already had in my head of what people do when they make decisions. It was already a self-written prophecy. But how did I triple my close rate in the short months after that as I started learning how to sell and started breaking these paradigms? How could I have tripled my close rate with the same prospects? Well, because I changed my mind, which seems like the easiest thing in the book. Oh, just change your mind. Really? But it's almost the hardest thing for any of us to do, is to actually change our mindset. We're so stuck on it. We're so stubborn. We're living into this reality that we've created for ourselves. So my non-last look sellers, my quote and hopers, my price is all that matters sellers, they're in this other world, and I'm not in that world. See, that wasn't my kryptonite, as I like to call it. That wasn't my issue. I had a think it over problem. I didn't have a discount problem. So now when I'm attacking this issue, I look at all of you discounters and go, why do you guys have a discount problem? That's because that's not my kryptonite. It's yours. And I assume you wouldn't be here unless we have to figure this one out. So just like I had to go through the transition of getting away from my think it over problems, I need you to do the same thing with your price is the only thing that matters problem. Because it's just a problem. It's just a thing that you're carrying around with you, and that spreads into every conversation you have. That's why when we call somebody to check in on them, we say things like, hey, how's my number looking? What are you doing? You're following up on a sales call to ask the potential customer that you have, how's your number looking? Well, yeah, that's what they're looking at, Steve. They just need to know. That's like me saying to somebody back in the day, so you're going to probably take some time to think about this, right? Why don't I follow up with you next week? Like I was already predestining this thing to be a think it over. I was already like, hey, here's the proposal. Why don't I chase you next week, huh? And then you can ghost me. Sound good? Like I was literally setting it up. But that's what my sellers are doing now when it comes to last look. They're setting themselves up for a conversation about price. And only price and nothing but the price. So help us price. That's it. We've got to get away from that conversation. But Steve, it is all about price. Okay, change your mind. You got to change your mind. You got to change it. So how did I change my mind from think it over land? There's anecdotal evidence. There were people that didn't think it over, and I had to study them. And I go, wow, why didn't that person think it over? Why'd they buy anyway? I had to pay attention to my language and shut up and just let them. I remember the first time I was like, that would be $11,000 for this one job. And I just sat there and looked at the piece of paper while they were looking at it. And I just didn't look at them. I didn't say anything. And I just shut up. And I waited. And he goes, okay, can we do this next week? I was about to accept defeat. But I just stopped. I broke my own pattern and just stopped doing it. But I had to start shifting the game. What's the evidence that's counter to it? So let's look at last look again. If someone's calling and saying, I want to work with you, but your price is too high, you've already got the evidence. They want to work with you, but your price is too high. They're telling you, I want to work with you. I prefer you. So just stop asking about the price and start asking about why would they want to work with you? And now for all the other quote and hope customers that we have, occasionally they pick us. Why? Go find out. Hey, Joe, I noticed I've quoted probably 5, 6 projects over the last year, and it seems like 1 or 2 of them you've given to me. Help me out. What's going on? Why were those ones the better ones? And by the way, don't say, was my price better? Ugh. Why were those, like, was there some reason? And pause for effect, as I call it, which means shut up and listen. Pause, wait, ask the question, wait for it. Well, Steve, the thing you don't understand, what don't I understand? Well, in the way we do, okay. Now, maybe we only had a location advantage. Maybe the other guy had no availability and we just happened to be there. I mean, I don't know. But whatever they say is golden right now. Dig into it. Really? I didn't know that. So you guys base it on, like, tell me more about that. Why is that the case? Like, I had no idea. I mentioned kryptonite. This, for those that know me, this is my Clark Kent stuff where I'm like, really? How does that even work? And I become the dumbest sales guy in the room so that I learn. How about the guy that never buys from you? Hey, Chuck, Steve Brooks over here at Steve Ready Mix. Listen, I'm curious. I've sent you 20 quotes last year and I got 0 work. Can you help me understand what's going on? And you can have a face-to-face if that's better for you. It doesn't matter to me. Email, phone, face, have the conversation. Well, here's your problem, Steve. What's my problem? And then how about the customers that did use me even though we were more expensive, even though we were farther away, even though they had some scheduling problems, even though they had some quality problems, even though the trucks were late? What? They're still working with me? That's my favorite thing when one of my customers, my sellers, tells me, they go, yeah, Steve, we're just not doing very good. Last year we only did 300,000 yards of concrete. And I'm like, who's buying 300,000 yards of concrete, 30,000 round trips of this bad boy if they don't like working with you? Well, here's the deal. Right, here's the deal. Deal me in, because I don't accept that. If there's 300,000 yards that you're selling, there's another 100,000 we can go get. If there's one customer that likes you, there's another 10 we can get. And by the way, if there's 10 customers that hate you, that's 10 customers that got to figure out what's the thing that they need. What's the secret sauce that's going to make this work? What's the part I'm missing? How do I get this to actually land? I was talking to a sales manager just today, and he said, Steve, when I look at a quote, I immediately think, what are my advantages on this? So many of us are like, oh, here's all my disadvantages on this. But his immediate thought is, okay, what advantage do I have? Not complaining because, well, our price is too high in our trucks and then our dispatch and everything. Like, what? We go half empty so quick. What are the advantages I might have? And if you don't have any, guess what? Go talk to somebody. My favorite, don't even know, I've never worked with you before. This is my 5th group, no contact. Hey, listen, I'd love to work with you guys. Let's imagine I can match the price you're paying right now. Would you ever consider switching? Well, we might, Really? How come? Why would somebody switch if there wasn't a problem? It's the same question you might ask. Hey, are you happy with your current supplier? But they didn't wake up thinking about that answer. So they just go, yeah, we're okay. Or besides price, is there anything that I could do differently? Like, nah, we're fine. I'm not giving them enough of a ramp for them to come up with something. And so all I do is just switch my questions around a little bit. Hey, let me just ask you, if you got all 3 quotes from the major suppliers here, all came back and they were the same exact price, who would you go with? You see, I build a little scenario so that I put them in the seat and they have to think about it. And they go, oh, well, depends on the job. Okay, let's pick one. The one over there that you mentioned to me over on Main Street, what would you do on that one? Everyone comes back, they're all the same price. Is there a preferred supplier you have? It won't hurt my feelings if it's not me. And the second they tell me anything, oh, it's me? Really? How come? Oh, it's not me? Really? How come? Oh, we don't know until the price comes? Really? How come? Everything, I'm just going to dig in and find out more. But see, all of this is only possible because I know that people buy on preference, not on price. If you haven't changed your mind, you're going to get the same result. You're going to get the same answers. It's price. Yeah, price is the only thing. Price. If it was up to me, I'd go with you, but price is the thing. My boss only, we're just strictly about price. We have to make money. Price. And those of you in public works bid, I love it when I get that pushback. Steve, but in public works, it's all public. Everyone knows low price wins. And then I heard a story last week. The company that won couldn't pull off the mix design. What? It didn't meet spec. They couldn't get there. What do you know? So the number 2 supplier wins. What? But I thought the low price won. Oh, but they have to meet spec. Right. They can't be disqualified. Right. There's always a way. Preference will always beat out price. But if we're coming as a seller with price, That's all they have to do. They say, hey, can you do anything about the price? Yeah, let me do. I have sellers that are preconditioning the price. We should probably talk about that in one of our sessions too. But not only do they not like last look, they don't want to have the conversation at all, so they just go in with a low number. Hey, I've already worked out a deal for you guys. What? Pre-discounted. Because they don't want to hear the customer say, oh, dude, you're high. Oh, high, what do I do? Negotiate, talk. Oh, so you're going to go with the other guy instead of me? Oh, man, that sucks. No, I'm not saying that. I mean, we want to go with you guys, but your price is too high. Wait, you want to go with me? Really? How come? Like, every conversation takes me there. As long as I don't have the cognitive bias that says, of course it's price, Steve. It's always price. I'm going to leave with this. The customer is trying to negotiate with you, but the seller often thinks that they're being rejected. So when someone says your price is too high, I need you to condition yourself to stop seeing that as a rejection. Stop it. Like boxers, when somebody does a little flinch at them, they just sit there and look at you like, That's how I want you to be when somebody brings up price. We just got to condition ourselves to not be flinching with that punch that they may or may not throw. Stop. Someone says that your price is too high. Have a few moves ready. Okay, compared to, okay, so you're not going to use us? Oh, okay, and you're telling me that for a reason? Oh, okay, so you want to negotiate? Do you guys want to use us? Oh, man, so my price is higher than everybody else? Okay, I don't know if there's anything I can do. Let me ask you this, though. If the prices all were the same, I mean, would you pick us, or are we still not even in the running? Have some moves that you're just not even fazed by it. We got to be ready for it and prepared for it. Excited about it, comfortable with it. So practice. Be ready for it. If someone says your price is too high, don't panic. Don't assume. Don't cave. And definitely don't say, what price do I need to be at? That's exactly what I don't want you to do. All right. As always, you know how to get a hold of me. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.